watching Weirdo Universe. Wonder if you like. Come on,
I'm AJ.
and this is Weirdo Universe. Thanks for tuning in. A new year. As happy belated New Year's. All right, and a belated Christmas, and yeah, new day. Still same time. We can stream here, and there's only one topic to discuss or show to talk about that I've seen, and AJ as well, seen at least most of it, and I feel like I really want to talk about it.
I am still on season 2, episode 1. I ended up taking a quick break. Um, well, a couple day break. But um, so far, I'm understanding the hype.
Like, I guess
I'm
you haven't
understanding
seen
the hype you
enough
got.
to where you really get hooked in, but this series, Dragon Prince, a small animation series that went on for 7 seasons, started 2024 as we're now in 2026 now. Started in 2024, and I seen a lot of clips on this, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. And man, when I watched this, like at least like by like season 3 or 4, I was just like hooked because something that was like this small felt quite, theater, almost theatrical. I guess I made up that word, but like this series was something. Cause it's like a mix of humor. You get the drama, and it's like the character depth. Cause these are basically there's a lot of main characters in this show. um,
And here I thought I was the only one just waking up.
but yeah, these were pretty much like the main characters. Mainly, you got Callum, who's like always wanted. He's always like a normal person. He's like a good like not an author but poetry in a way. But like he always wanted to be a mage, and throughout the season, he grows into this quite powerful mage. And then we got Ezrin, who's becomes this comes pretty much a young king. And then we get like kind of like so it's like Dungeons and Dragons in a way. You got humans, you got elves, you got dragons, like all sorts of fantasy into one. And then you got the elf that becomes an assassin, but then as the series goes on, she kind of sees like a lighter path than just being a cold-blooded assassin every time. So anyway, for people that don't know about this show, so it pretty much the story goes. So behind them, you see a dragon egg, and the story goes was there was a there's this war between humans and elves, all the fantasy uh, creatures, and they once lived together as one like country, but there was a problem developing where the they assumed the dragon when the dragon like there was an egg. And as we get the dragon prince in a sort of way, like there was an heir to these two dragons. I mean, I'm just to let you know, it's been a while, so Liz might help me up a little bit here. I know you haven't seen enough of it, but I'll do my best on trying to sum
Let's
up.
see. Well, you're still kind of describing season 1, yes?
Yeah, like at least like the intro when you see the first episode.
So, I'll have to probably rewatch it myself. I'll probably do a full like binge completely um this this week. But from my memory, if it serves me correct, it is a war started and the Dragon King had died, and the egg that was the heir to the throne, as it's called, the Dragon Prince, was also believed to have been lost in the battle. And by lost, I mean killed.
like destroyed.
Yeah,
And so,
but that wasn't the case. And I'll hand it back to Amon for the next bit,
because
in
in
case
the
if needs
because
my help.
in the series they do a good flashback on Ezra and his who was the previous king, and there's a mage named Lord Viren, and he's a dark mage, and he has two children. The older the sister named Claudia, and then he kind of got the charismatic, funny guy named Soren. Um, named Soren. But so, but long ago though, as no king, there's a queen, and that was uh, Ezrin's mom. And so long ago, they made a decision where I'm trying to remember if it was like I think it was a health crisis or there was pretty much. But the sum it up was they went into enemy territory to steal something that could help. Oh yeah, the kingdom was kind of in a famine stage. Like it was like resources were depleted, and Lord Viren convincing uh, Ezrin's dad, he well, they made a decision, or he was convinced to go to enemy territory. And this is when the Dragon King was around, and take on like a molten rock giant and take its heart. And there's some kind of like dark magic thing that can kind of revive a piece of land. They did it. It took a while. The beast. They eliminated it, took its heart, which is just molten lava, and like hard shell of molten lava, and they were about to run. And of course, this Dragon King, he's like everywhere. He patrols the whole thing. So, and this is like its prime stage, as you know. So he sees them. They escape, and and this is like a lightning dragon. So it's not fire; it's shooting out of its mouth. It's literally lightning, and they escaped. And this as it goes on, the 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 queen, she was trying to save uh, the mage, and unfortunately, she died. So later on, King wanting revenge, they go back. They go to pretty much like where he roams, and they do a little duel. But in this time, he's like giving him like a free pass because something's happening, which is a birth of an egg from the queen. And he doesn't want to attack, but it's just since what he did, they got his revenge doing some sorcery and turned him to stone, and he died. And what they didn't know when they went up there, there was two elves that were told to protect. And well, a little spoiler here, that ended up being Rayla's parents. So they were protecting, took on the mage. It was a pretty cool, pretty nice duel, and unfortunately, the mage won. And I guess I'm trying to remember if they were trying to like convince, but they took the egg and assumed it was destroyed, but apparently they kept it. Maybe doing some, he wanted to do some sorcery with it, but he couldn't. So he just let it sit there, and that's why in season one when these three, so pretty much when the king dragon died, night nightshade assassins go to goes to the castle where Callum, who's like they pretty much adopted him. We don't like the show never told him like they're is biological, but in a way he was like adopted to the family. And as it goes on, so it's like I when I first saw this, it's kind of like it's like all I said is this is how I met your mom, pretty much, because she was about to kill him, but she didn't. And as these two go on, and you can when you watch it more, you can like I don't know I know you haven't seen enough, but you kind of can see there's a connection happening.
Oh, I've
Like
seen the chemistry.
instantly, it's like yep, these two
I've
are on a date.
I've very much seen the chemistry.
But I just want to show just like the breakdown past because like when you watch it, it's gonna kind of do like future, but then later on it'll give you like a flashback on like all right, this is like a build up to now what it is now. And anyway, then like there's so many like a lot of characters really break down, and the one that's very that really got me interested, which you've seen so much animation cartoons, but have you ever seen a character that's deaf? And that leads to uh well she's like an enforcer. I forgot the name's not coming to me.
Amaya,
Maya?
Amaya,
Wait, Maya or Maya? Oh,
Amaya.
Maya.
There you
And
go.
she she she's like the king's guard. And when she was first introduced, it was during so when they discovered about the egg, when the egg was discovered, they're like, wait, if we can go back to Exadia, which is the kind of like the enemy, the heart of the enemy territory, pretty much, where all the non-humans, like elves and all mystical creatures live. Um, you thought they go to there, then it's like, look, the humans didn't. What we thought were told never happened. So they're like, that's the journey begins. So they go to this like outhouse, like a lake outhouse, and
That
this is
was a pretty cool lake house, though.
I know.
I mean,
Kind of like a
that
tavern.
thing looked like a mansion. I mean, it was so massive.
But this is when Maya was introduced, where like I just assumed she's going to speak, like as all you see, there's so many characters, they speak, but I was like, wait, she's not even speaking, she's doing sign language, and it just like blew my mind, right?
Well, I'm curious because it doesn't seem like she's either deaf or somebody that is mute. So
Yeah. So
that is more of like where somebody can't speak, but they can still hear, but they could have the choice to do sign language or not,
yeah,
regardless.
when it
But
ha- but when it happened,
damn, she was. I swear she was like a fantasy realm Captain America.
pretty much.
I mean, fuck.
But it just what fascinates me was just like, wait, this character's not speaking; she's using like sign language, ASL, and it just blew my mind. I was like, wait, out of all my like animations I've seen, I've never seen like for me at least, I haven't seen a character like doesn't speak, just communicating. So and she's like that for the whole series. It's nothing like it's not like what happened to her or anything, but she is the sister of the who was the queen of the castle, which now I'm trying to remember what the place, the kingdom was called now. I left that out.
Oh, I don't even remember.
But I know Xadia is the place where all the non-humans live. Not all the mythical creatures.
Nah, I swear, when it comes to like these animated shows or something, they, for some weird reason, they love to make some type of disabled character and then make him completely fucking badass. Because like this was kind of similar to, it brought me back to like rewatching the Avatar series,
Hmm.
the original like animated show, not the new live action one. But when they brought in Toph, it reminded me almost of Toph. Like Amaya was like that badass level, and I was just like, dude, this is just too cool. Like,
So so when it happened, when that's when she was introduced, and she did have what's great. There was an interpreter that knew like ASL, so he was communicating, just know what she was saying. And Callum actually knows a little ASL himself, so so that's how they communicated. But so they seeing it, she assumes uh her well, this is Callum's aunt, so that makes Callum.
that would also make it Ezra's aunt,
Yeah,
because
Callum Ezra's aunt, which makes for aunt seeing them. But anyway, part of the family. Um,
yeah,
so when she saw that, she was just getting. She assumed, oh, they're captives. So he's like doing her job. But then Callum convinces her, and so she lets him escape. But of course, sending a hunter to keep an eye on him. And that character goes by the name. I mean, there's so many characters to to really like sum this up, but it's just the series itself. It's similar
no,
because like when you
Amon, I gotta say that like the moment you brought this to my attention, I was just like, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'll see what it is. But the moment you said you're gonna like a specific character,
well
not gonna tell you who,
a lot of
but you'll know.
like yeah a lot of characters you're gonna really
And well, no, I mean you were specifically referring to a Maya,
yeah my
specifically,
well, my
and
specific.
I was just like, okay. The moment I see her in action, it hit me, and I was like, "This has to be the character he was talking about." Because,
Well, I thought
bro,
Rayla too because I thought like Rayla too, and then there's this other. So
oh, Rayla was awesome. I'm loving her character arc, or I guess her character development is the better
oh,
term.
yeah,
But man, I mean, to think that she went through almost what the entire first season with that um that bracelet, that ritual bracelet, basically cutting the circulation off of her blood in her arm. Dude, I mean, I don't know if anybody else could have done that because I think that would have just hurt too damn much.
yeah.
But no, I mean,
I really want to deconstruct this, but maybe we'll do it at another time. I want to like let's just see the whole thing, and then we'll really break this down. I know the title is Dragon Prince Deconstructed, but really, I just want to like at least do a small talk on this because I could go really in depth with like the villain, Maravos, that dude. You want to talk about
yeah,
mischievous?
isn't he the wasn't he the shoot, what's the term I'm looking for? It's the adversary, I think, to the king.
Yeah, so yeah, like if you want me to break this, you want me to break him down a little bit? I just don't want to reveal too much because I just wanted to.
I
What,
mean, I kind of got a gist of
what to expect?
potentially who he was. I think, because I mean, that motherfucker is. manipulative as
I don't know why. Like
hell.
I know a lot of people should like compare to like what we know about angels and devils, but he is like in a way Lucifer.
Oh yeah, I could see it.
Because even though it's a little different, and of course, totally different aspects, but in the story, what happened was so he's a starlight elf, and they're like the kind of like the gods of all elves, pretty much. And long ago, he was, as Liz mentioned, being an adversary to the king. But him, so what happened to him was his daughter apparently committed like a crime, and as he was talking to all like the judges of his kind, being them, they're like, oh, like he's pleading. It's like, oh, okay, but then I guess you can die with her as well, or something like that in those lines.
Oh
And
shit.
but he like something within those lines, but not exactly word for word. But it's just like they're like one of them is like, oh, okay, then it's like you can die like as well. And he's like, what? Or like pretty much saying his daughter. He's like, oh, his daughter. So how they die is quite gruesome in a way. And so because like there's a story, because in the story, I'm not trying to go like word, like place to place, because it's a lot of season to really break it down. I'm just kind of spitballing, mainly on the characters here. But what happened, so pretty much his daughter committed a crime, and pretty much in a way, and the crime was punishable pretty much by death. And how they,
Well, I mean, back in those times, any crime was basically punishable punishable by death. Christ, I can't talk.
but like what happened to her, it's pretty much like I don't know, but you'll see when you get to it. It's gonna be a while back. They'll do a breakdown of his character of what
I get
he
the feeling I'm gonna probably see a little bit of that backstory in season two.
like. Now season two, you get to see him introduced, but you don't know the name yet until the mage kind of like gets to know him, and then they'll soon meet, and you'll get the whole like Avengers versus sort of theme in a way. Uh, um, but no, like so Erebos. So yeah, he's been adversary to the king, and what he always been doing. Well, actually, sorry. Before we get to that, back to those breaking down his character. So pretty much, his daughter died, and she becomes like an asteroid. But it's like her abilities. I don't know what they do, but it's like pretty much sucking the life out of her in a way. Then she becomes like like meteorites fall and crash on Earth. It's kind of like that sort of theme of like
Oh, she was trying to cause the extinction level event.
no. She that was in her well, like her crime was like a showing ability to a human, and I guess it's like a taboo, I guess, in that time because like they took her
Hmm.
without him noticing. And anyway, that's when the pleading, and I guess the pleading didn't really work, and she died. And she becomes the what like in the series they're going to talk about like a certain meteor that crashed that becomes this lake. There's a little more to it, so it's like that. That's what happened to her. So as time went on, he becomes an adversary for the King of Dragons, and he uses the mages as a way to whispering mischievously, like whispering in the ears to cause like chaos, pretty much. And when they found out it was him doing it, they made a prison, like a prison, where they where you can only see him through a certain mirror, which you will see later on this in the series.
I think I know what meter you were talking about.
Yeah, you saw it. That's his prison, which is pretty much
Well, that's I think the reason why I say I think I know what mirror you're talking about is because they bring it in a couple of times in season one.
yeah. Because there's it's like he's so bad that even if you try to look him up, automatically erases it. You just won't. You will just see it for a split second. It will always go in all the records if you want. Like if, that's what the mage was trying do. Like he kept looking, and it's like he sees the name, but it's like always erased because they do not want to know about him. But yeah,
Damn,
so
he
it's
must have been actually a big bad.
because later on you actually see what his actual size is. Because what's crazy about him, he can go to human form, the human size, but in reality, he's literally a titan. So
Oh fuck.
he's literally like a titan. Anyway, so when they discovered it was him, they made a prison, and he was trapped there. And each of the dragons kind of carry a certain key to where his prison act, like where to go and such, or at least how to, like at least the key to opening it. But anyway, I don't want to like go too far because there's this sun. There's like we got like these like sun elves, and one of them starts dating Amaya, and they actually like literally become married together. So
Oh,
spoiler there. You'll see who that is, and she's pretty much like I think it's like a sun. I said sunlight, but like lava elf. Like they're a bit.
wait. You said she?
Yeah, it's a she.
My my sign language Captain America of the fantasy realm is gay?
Like yeah, yeah. Because like
So
so
not only is she a badass, but she's a muted sign language using possibly gay or bisexual badass.
pretty much. Because here's what's funny though.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Well, I could talk a little more on the like how the relationship like built up if you want me to tell you,
I'm
but
now very invested
yeah,
into the show.
but no, but anyway, Amaya's like who's pretty much who she will become a queen in for her people. It's like I don't.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
just
Okay.
getting spitball. I'm spitballing here. I'm just throwing out pieces. But it's just so because they actually did fought because the Civil War is still happening. So
That
her and
still sounds like How I Met Your Mother.
her Amaya, her being the like Kingsguard and the like being the enforcer, and then you kind of have the elf enforcer, you could say. But her ability is because they have like I don't know if it's a mineral, but based on like the sun, they kind of go into like not like a Hulk form, but like they're it's like in a way like being very powerful just for a split moment, and they actually fought. And not gonna lie, the cinematography of like them fighting is like almost 50-50 in a way. Like they fought like two or three times, just doing like there's like certain bridge, there's a border, and they always been attacking the certain like outpost, which uh, this commander named uh, Janal, she that like she she's like with her, like she has like her like her like army as well, and there's just like a little battle going on. But every time they attack it, anyway, like I don't want but the cinematography, like it was like Captain America against like or you could say Peggy when she was Captain America pretty much in that sort of way.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I'm kind of want to drop the subject a little bit because I don't want to go too far because like this game, keep saying game, this show does really good of character growth and you and like get a little side
Well,
quests from Civil
you
Wars.
also mentioned that when I would watch the show that I'd be probably making an OC or two.
I don't
I've
know.
only watched the first season and I've already planned to possibly add to my roleplay roster Amaya, Ryla, and maybe an OC or two.
Yeah, like I would like what I'm just thinking like Claudia for example because what happens to her? as you watch, she like comes to like her own self in a way.
Two of these fucking laser now are trying to
In a way, so um, Claudia Callum did like kind of had a crush on her, but but it was
I
more.
kind of, I kind of got that impression with season one that Callum did kind of have a thing for Claudia a little bit.
Anyway, like I as I see as I've been saying, like I don't want to go too far. Maybe we'll break this down more when you really get into like 4 or 5 ish at least, because you at least get to see like the plot, the main plot, but then get all the side stuff from like kind of like a civil war, and then get a little in depth of like other dragons and yeah, and so on. So I don't want to go too far into it.
I've been there. Okay, the reason why, well, the two reasons why I took a break on the Dragon Prince is one because work, and then also because I was re-binging Stranger Things because of the final season being out.
Sorry.
And so I figured once they fully let out all the episodes out on Netflix, then by the time I get to season five, it'll all be out, and I have already watched all of the other seasons. I am just on the final episode of season four, and I will probably finish Stranger Things tonight if possible. I highly doubt it because I don't know how long each episode of season five is. Um, I just know that season four has been it varied between like an hour to 2 hours long
Yeah, it's
of each
like
episode.
they might as well just made a movie out of it. Like,
They
should
could have made a movie out of Stranger Things. I mean, but okay. The reason why I brought that up was also because I want to ask: have you ever had where you rewatch a series and some of the stuff that they did feels different from what you remember?
well that well that's what's great about when you yeah like I yeah that happens, but that's what's great about like certain other shows. Because like let's just say K-pop for example. Now season one great, it was unexpected but did so well. Season two now season two might feel a lot more different. Maybe less
I
music, maybe a little bit
I
more.
believe you mean second film.
Yeah, the second film it's coming out in 3 years, which
I
is
still can't wait for that, to be honest. I honestly, a lot of people are probably going to hate me for this, for saying this, but in my opinion, because of how much Beyond the Spider-Verse has been delayed constantly, and the drama behind some of the factors of it being delayed takes a big role in that. But if it were to choose between which movie I would want more, between Beyond the Spider Verse or K-pop Demon Hunters 2, I guess you could call it, I would probably choose K-pop Demon Hunters. And again, it's do not get me wrong. I love Spider Verse. I mean, Amon can tell you this. We've been theorizing since like the second to first movie for a number of things. But with the amount of delays they've had and with some of the reasons behind it, I feel like it's lost some of its fan base to where it might not get as much enjoyment out of it because of the fact that they've took so long to the point where a lot of the fans aren't really excited about it anymore, and they're just more like, well, just get it out and just be done with
I'm
it,
not
kind of
sure.
thing.
I don't know. Was it? Is it come out this year or next year?
I think um I want to say next year, I believe.
I
I
know it's
could
like
be
in
wrong.
June or July. I know that's the month, but I don't know if this is
Yeah, I know that it's
year.
definitely in like the summertime. I don't recall if it's this year or 2027 though. Um, but I mean, I am still partially excited to see it, regardless of what happens, because I know they also had to do a whole rewrite on the film a little bit for certain stuff, and I think that not no, I'm gonna back that up a bit. I'm hoping that even though they've taken this long, that it still turns out good. Because with the way that they left across the Spider Verse, they really left like a lot of big questions. So I mean, like a lot of big plots that they could do or started off with is like Spot returning to Earth 1610 for Miles' universe, right? Or started off from where they continued it off with Miles being in Earth 42 and having to fight his other self. Like, I mean, there's so many different variations of how they could start this third film off,
Hmm.
but they have such a big storyline that I can understand why they delayed it a few times because they have to make sure this comes out good and it comes out right.
Or like pretty much ending off, just to end it off, like close the book.
Yeah. So I mean, they did say that this would be the final chapter for Miles's story at least, but they never specified it being a complete closed chapter for any of the other characters, which I find really interesting is because a lot of people who do favorite some of the characters such as like Spider-Gwen, they want a spin-off movie for her or a little series based off like her stuff, right? They want to do something about to see um main Peter's kind of universe as well. They want to see Penny, Spider Noir, which we are getting a TV series about.
That
And I'm kind of excited to see what they kind of switch up a little bit. I know with the fan base that can be a little iffy. It could be a really touchy subject, especially because I mean a lot of people complain about um, continuity to the originality of the character. Um, and I have a coworker that I was working with this one of the past I think Wednesday, and we talked about how a lot of the fan base for the Last of Us series were dropped, and a lot of that was because of the fact that they changed so much of a lot of the main stuff of what happened in the game, which caused a lot of that fan base to drop. And so, I mean, I'm curious on why they decided to change with Spider Noir being more a Ben Riley type variant than a Peter Parker. But I'm still kind of interested to see what they do with that. So, I mean, and who knows? I mean, with Spider-Verse, it opened up a lot of doors. I mean, you do get the Spider-Noir series. You are, we, we are getting Sadie Sink from Stranger Things joining into Marvel with Spider-Man Brand New Day as a variety of potential characters being rumored of her character that she's playing. So I mean, personally, with even though Spider Verse has had a lot of downside in the past couple years because of the del- the delays, I think that it still opened up a lot of decent doors for stuff to be put out. So I mean, I'm really hoping that they don't, I guess you could say, they don't fuck it up too much, you know. But that's just me. So
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So anyway, sorry, bit off, bit off on the title. Felt like it
yeah,
was a good day to
apologies.
do it. Figured without Anthony, but with Anthony, I just figured you might have just finished it or at least watched most of it enough to maybe do a breakdown.
Yeah,
But
I I'm gonna continue it for sure. Um, Depending on if I finish Stranger Things tonight. Otherwise, if I don't, I'll probably just take a pause on that and then try and go through season 2 of the Dragon Prince. If possible, maybe try and see if I can get to season 3 or 4.
yeah, like at least,
Since I know you definitely said those were the two that they really hook you in with.
yeah, like for me at least, because it's like, and then season 5 through like 7, it's just like, okay, you're just
Yeah, so I mean,
and
if depending on how I'm feeling about after the episode finale for season 4 Stranger Things, I might take a pause on it and switch over back to the Dragon Prince and continue from where I left off. Otherwise, I'll probably start that tomorrow. Um, and then hopefully by next time we could do a better breakdown on the show and hope hopefully some of you guys probably even have some some knowledge for yourselves by watching it if possible. Um, and that way we can all get like a kind of, I guess maybe like a group contact going, sort
yeah,
of.
maybe. But if not, like when you have the time to at least watch it enough to like we can really break it down, then we can just go right at it as we have we've been doing it.
Oh yeah.
So without further ado, thanks for tuning in.